Welcome to the Printing Bureau. Today I'm just going to be looking at cryptos for this video, trying to keep it short so the crypto lovers out there. Obviously what I'm going to say is not financial advice, guys. It's just my view of the market and what I'm doing. Do your own research and make sure that the decisions that you're taking are your own decisions and be accountable for them. It's just what I'm doing and I'm just sharing it. Okay, so let's get into it. So cryptos, I'm going to cover a few cryptos. Let's start with Bitcoin. So let's look at Bitcoin. First one is Bitcoin. So with Bitcoin, we've done if I just on the weekly chart, energy flows to the downside, but you can see that your volume of selling is just diminishing. So volume of selling, so we had huge volume there, and volume is reduced. So volume of selling is reducing. If you go to your daily chart, what you can see here is that obviously we've done our levels. So one drop there, one drop there, one drop there, and we've got a final drop. I do expect a bounce up. So this, I do expect Bitcoin to go up. It's possible we have a final move to the downside, and my downside target for this week is between 61,000. So between 61,000, 61,000. Here, somewhere there between 61,000 and 63,000. So, 6,300, even 63,500. That area is an area of interest for me. 63,500 and 61,000 is an area of a drop for me potentially. But I do expect a rise and a bounce. I do expect a bounce, and I expect the rise to go to about the 66,000 area. I do expect a bounce on Bitcoin to 66,000 in the coming week. So that's for Bitcoin. Let's look at some other kind of altcoins that I've been tracking. So let's look at RNDR. So RNDR, again on the weekly chart, you can see we've been falling quite a bit. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks in a row. This thing has been falling. So you're going to obviously get a bounce, and also we are eating the candle is being eaten up. So I do expect a bounce to the upside in the coming week. I expect a rise to about the 9.20, between 9 somewhere, in the $9 area. So $9, we probably will bounce to about $9 on RNDR. But there is also a downside, and after that, I do expect us to fall back down to, the 685 area, 685. So this week between 685 and $9 is kind of like, the area of opportunity for RNDR. I think ultimately RNDR likely, comes down to test the 50-day moving average on the weekly, which is about $5.30 currently. Obviously, the moving average is going to move up. So maybe somewhere around here, about 5.50, 5.40, probably test that. By all means, I think that happens, but I think we'll have a bounce first. So that's for RNDR. Let's look at PEPE. So PEPE is also done the same, 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks in a row of falling. As you can see, we're chewing the candle up, and so I do expect a bounce on PEPE as well. I do expect PEPE to rise to the 0.3 area, so 0.13 area, somewhere here, potentially by the end of the week. So that will be the target for PEPE. I think ultimately PEPE falls back to the middle here, somewhere here, 0.09, 0.0. Area. It falls back to this area before we really actually go somewhere. But this candle will push us up, because we are chewing it. We will definitely go up first. So there will be an upside first, but then there will be a downside. So that's PEPE for you. Let's look at the other coin, BOBA. So BOBA is one of the coins that I'm buying. So if we look at BOBA, it's been falling quite a lot. It's been falling and falling and falling and falling. We've fallen onto the 50-day moving average on the weekly chart. I think the selling volume is decreasing, And if you go to the daily chart, you can see that we are also on the 200 moving average. So, you know, it will get support on the 200 moving average. The 23 area will find support. So I think, you know, any fall on BOBA, 0.24, 0.24 probably is the fall. And then we bounce and rise up to the 0.3 area. So, you know, point here, 0.33, potentially 0.33 as a bounce area on BOBA. So that's BOBA for you there. Let's look at another one. Let's look at Ethereum. So Ethereum, again on the weekly chart. So if we go back to the weekly chart, you can see we've been falling 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks in a row. We seem to have a sort of like a double bottom here scenario. So, and we're chewing the candle as well. So, you know, volume of selling is also declining. So I do expect Ethereum will go up to about the 3650. So 3650, somewhere here, you know, somewhere there. I do expect Ethereum to at least hit that. And then potentially, you know, we will have to continue the journey down if there's not enough buyers in the market. But of course, we'll evaluate it as we go. Look at the daily chart, for example. You know, we've kind of dropped a level there. We've dropped a level here, and we've dropped a level there, which gives us our double bottom. So potentially, Ethereum can go even back up to 3.8. You know, it's very possible. But I think for this week, our target for the rise on Ethereum is 3650 for Ethereum. So let's look at the next pair that I want to talk about. Let's look at Solana. So Solana on the weekly chart, again, you can see we've been dropping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks in a row. And, you know, we're kind of chewing the tail a little bit on Solana, but not as aggressive as we were with Ethereum or PEPE. But I do expect, you know, Solana can drop some more. I think Solana likely drops to. Solana, I think, likely drops a bit more. If we go to the daily chart, have a look. So we do have a kind of like a bit of a support double bottom type scenario here. So we could wick back in around the $130 mark, and then, you know, rise up. So I think my target on Solana for the week will be around the 145. So 145 on Solana for the week, a potential pullback to the 130 area on Solana. Let's look at SUKU. So SUKU on the daily chart, you can see that we've been falling. You know, we've dropped quite a bit. So you've dropped one there, you know, another drop here, and then you've got your kind of a third drop there, and then you've dropped again. So potentially for SUKU, it can fall to about a 0.0. We can do a double bottom or slightly exceed it. So, you know, I think anything between the 0.070 to 0.074 is a potential area of fall for me. And then we bounce up, and I do expect us to bounce up to the 1.11 maybe. So 1.11 is an area of opportunity for me. So I would expect that on SUKU. And then let's look at ARPA. So ARPA, again, you can see on the daily chart, if we go to the weekly chart, you see we'll be falling. We did our fall here, we've risen up, and now we've done 3 weeks in a row of falling. You can expect a bounce on that. So at least, you know, a bounce back up to about the 0.58 is very, very likely. And it can even go higher, and potentially, you know, I've got a profit target on this around the, you know, 0.062 area. So if you go to the daily chart, you can see we've fallen quite a bit, you know, and we kind of, selling pressure is kind of drying up. It's drying up. Look at the volume of sell here and compare it to the volume of selling here. So it's drying up. So I do expect the bounce back up. So the target on ARPA is potentially it can fall a bit more. So it can fall to about the 0.046 area, 0.046 is a potential area that it can fall to, and a bounce up to 0.055. So 0.055, or between 0.052 and also 0.055 and 0.062. That's an area that I think ARPA falls for the week. Let's talk about IMIX. So I want to talk about IMIX. So IMIX gaming token. Again, if you look at it from a daily perspective, we've dropped there, and then we've dropped again here. We've got some green candles here, and the volume is green as well. So I do expect the IMIX, if we can pull back in, and that will be around the 145 area, and then I expect that to bounce, and we'll probably bounce to about the 180 on IMIX will be my target for the week. So a potential fall to 145 and a rise to 180 on IMIX is what I would expect. Let's look at BONK. So BONK, so BONK, it's going to BONK. So BONK on the daily chart, you can see I've got my trend line there, and as soon as it breaks through that, that's a change in trend. So I'm just closely watching it. But we've done a good drop. Drop there, drop here, drop here, drop there, and a final drop as well, kind of like a double bottom scenario here slightly. So I do expect that BONK would go up, and I expect the rise to take us to about the 225 area. So somewhere 22. I think I got my profit, 225, somewhere there. I do expect us to hit that at the very least for this week. And there's a potential for us to also fall after that back to about the 0.40s to 0.005 area as well. So that's the setup I've got on BONK. ZK Sync is a new coin that's come out, and it's one that I've been tracking. So if you look at it from the daily chart, we're forming a bullish divergence candle right there, like similar to this one, and I expect us to continue to go up. Whether that's going to take us to the moon, I don't know yet, and I would like to see some strong volume following off the back of that. So we'll see how it pans out, but I do expect us to continue to go up. So we've got a 12-hour bullish candle. I do expect that at the very least ZK will hit 0.2 at the 0.2 mark. Will be hit this week, and we'll see whether actually we fall back into this divergence around the 17.5 area. So 17.5 as a potential fall area, but a rise of 0.02 on ZK is what I'm looking for. And then last but not the least, JASMY. So JASMY is looking very strong. I like the setup on JASMY. It's kind of broken above the trend line on the 12 hours and a daily chart. It's broken above. We've got a bullish candle there, strong volume, and it's being followed up. So I do expect that JASMY will continue to go up. JASMY probably rises to the 3.35 mark, so 0.35 somewhere here, 3.5 area, and then potentially comes back into this area again. So potentially somewhere around the 0.027, between 2.7 and 2.023. I think it's possible that we see that on JASMY, because the fall is not, although it's fallen quite a bit onto the 50-day moving average. I think there's potentially a little bit more falling on JASMY, but I think it's turning a corner, so we've got to respect that. So target for the week, 0.035 rise and a dump of to 0.27 or 228 area back here, somewhere here. Okay, so that's all the coins I've got for this week for you. I wish you all the best, and during the week I will give you an update in terms of how these are all panning out. Okay, have a great week.